to get better at recording. Competence is the key to confidence. There's no need to fake it till you make it when you can just become the truth that you want to speak. That way you can just be real and authentic, and your confidence will be true. I'm good at this. What is up, people of the internet? It is so good to see you here again. And by again, I do mean that if you haven't seen the last video, click it somehow, somewhere, or not. I mean, you may be beyond that. If you want to get better at recording, I have 4 wonderful tips for you today. I know they're wonderful because they worked for me. If you want to improve quickly at getting better at recording, mixing, mastering, and all of the things, there is really only one way to do that, and that is practice. The fastest way to get competent is to do the thing. Make recordings and share them. Sharing them is terrifying, but it's also great because it gives you an opportunity to see for yourself the things that make you freaked out and ask questions of people who know better on how to improve your craft. They say it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert, and that's not an accident. In order to get good at something, you have to actually do it. You can't just read about it and hope you're good. You can't just watch internet videos and hope you're gonna be good at it. You actually have to sit down and make stuff. So assuming you're practicing, you'll improve really quickly. But the second best thing that you can do to improve really quickly is to learn your DAW. Every single workstation has a lot of features involved inside of it, and so learning how to use those features and getting quick with using them. For example, I know all of the keyboard shortcuts in Logic, and that just makes my workflow faster, and this is important. This will help you get better faster because the more comfortable and the more competent you are at using your tools, the faster you'll be able to practice. The more you'll be able to pump out, the better recordings you'll be able to make. And this is one of those places where I definitely would recommend that you do learn, that you do sit down and watch YouTube videos, that you do read a book. Like, there's a lot of classes on the internet that you can take, and I would recommend using them because as much as it is the case that you have to practice and actually do the thing to get better at it, learning how to use your tool will save you a lot of time and allow you to improve really quickly. So once you are committed to practicing and doing what you can with what you have, even if it sounds like crap, and once you have spent the time to learn how to use your DAW, the next thing you can do is learn how to use your gear. Getting good recordings is as much about mic placement as it is about learning how to turn up your gain inside your DAW. Using your DAW well will help you to go fast, but learning where to place your mic will help you to take less takes and have a better sound at the end of the day. So learning about your mic and learning about your instruments and learning how to best capture your instruments will really help you become confident and help you become competent as a home studio musician, as a home recorder, as someone who records their music at home. By the way, let me know what you're using in the comments. What's your DAW, man? Please let me know. So you're committed to learning really fast, you're committed to learning your DAW, you're committed to learning your gear. The 4th thing you can do to learn really fast and get better at this is to get over yourself. Listen, this is the reality, is that no matter how much good work you put in and no matter how dedicated you are to learning your craft, you are probably the thing that's going to get in your way the most. Getting good at something has way more to do with you than it does with your equipment or your talent or your skill level. Believing that you have the competence to do this will allow you to grow faster and will allow you to pick up from your mistakes more quickly. When you make a mistake with a bad mindset, it's really easy to get into a really negative spiral. You're just sitting there like, wow, I'm the worst. Everything I do is trash. I am trash. There is no point in me making this stuff. These are things that I have thought. But when you believe in yourself and when you have a good reason to be making what you're making, when you make a mistake or when it sounds like crap, you're looking at it from a different perspective. Wow, this sounds like this. I wonder if I did something this way, if that would fix it. It's less about you and more about what you're trying to do. Having a good mindset, getting over yourself, and not letting your insecurities get in the way will allow you to grow in competence, which is the key to confidence. There is something to faking it until you make it, but the reality is that there's no need to fake it till you make it when you can just tell yourself the truth. The truth, which is, I am competent and I am able to do this. And I've got to be honest, like, part of getting over yourself is going back to number 1, which is practice. I hate recording my singing if there's other people in the house. And that's not just because practically then you're getting the random ambience of having someone else in the house with you, which is a real thing, and why I also don't have dogs, because they make it a pain in the butt to get a good take. But the reality is if you want to get better, you have to record. And if there's people in your house when you have time to record, Get over yourself. Make a recording. Now, getting over yourself in this case can also mean come up with ways to get around yourself. So for example, when I want to take a vocal recording, I just hop into my car. It's actually a really great place to record vocals, and it insulates you from a lot of the sounds that would happen otherwise. And because it's just a different space and I'm less aware of what other people are doing, I don't feel as self-conscious doing it. So practice, learn your DAW, learn your gear, get over yourself. And using these things, you'll be able to become a much better producer and sound engineer than if you just kind of flail around and try and figure it out. And you know what? Let me give you a bonus tip real quick. If you really want to grow and you really want to get good at this, you need to redefine failure. I remember when I first started recording my music, I was really scared that it would be bad songwriting. And can I be honest? It was bad songwriting. And I was really scared that like my sound quality would make it unlistenable. And you know what? I had really trash sound quality, but like I still would listen to the music that I wrote that was meaningful to me from those trashy sound quality days. If sounding bad sounds like failure, and if making terrible songs is gonna damage your insecurity, you need to reframe it. You need to change your relationship to failure. The failure isn't you trying and not doing a good job. The failure is you not trying at all because you're afraid of failing. Being afraid of sounding bad, we all do that. Get over yourself, make music. Start framing it a little bit differently. You should be afraid of the failure of never making your music and never having it heard by anyone. You should be way more afraid of that failure than of the failure of your infant skills, because your skills will get better. And especially if you fail. If your first songs sound bad, that's honestly great. Why is it great? Why is it great? I don't even know why it's great, but it is. I just know because I made so much bad stuff, and that was what allowed me to make better stuff the longer and longer that I made them. If I didn't have recordings on a freaking Apple EarPod microphone, I wouldn't know how great it is to have a recording from a Shure. And that would have been the real failure. Music has such an impact on people. My favorite album in the world is Relient K's Came out in 2004, I discovered it in 2006, and literally it is still my favorite album. And you know, that was Relient K's fourth album. Imagine if after their first album, they had listened to all of the people who said they were failures because they were writing songs about Marilyn Manson and cars. Like, they wouldn't have made literally the most influential album in my life. And that would have been the true failure. And so just think of it the same way for you. Becoming better is a process. Improvement is a process. Getting comfortable around your equipment is a process. And no one is gonna fault you for being on the process. And if they do, you can refer them to me and I'll slap them across the face. It'll be fine. No one will know. That's my fifth tip, is redefine your relationship with failure. And that will help you to grow so much. So right now, here's what I need you to do. Record a song. Look up a tutorial for your DAW. Set up your mic. Make something. The entire internet is full of videos that tell you you don't need the best gear to sound great. But let me tell you something. I don't feel very confident singing on this. I feel so secure when I record on this because I know this sounds good. If you're looking for gear recommendations, I made a video about that. And before you leave, will you please comment one way that you can redefine your relationship to failure? Having ideas from other people who are going through the same journey will probably help. Listen, random internet citizen, we need your creativity. We just do. We need you to be a good sound engineer. Because if you don't get your music out there, who is? Please give me a thumbs up if you found that this video was helpful in any way. Next week, I'll be talking about my journey from home setups and how I built my gear. So if you want to subscribe so that you can see that next week, go ahead and click that little button, and you can even hit the bell. I also release music on here, and so if you are interested in checking that out to see if I am verified to be talking about this subject, make yourself at home. And thank you so very much for watching.